Yo, 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 we fresh off that Kings versus Queens. Kings versus Queens just went down. I want to talk about it. Let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. You are tuned in to another edition of Mike Ryder Talks. We back. Got some more battle rap talk, and I want to get into URL Caffeine's Kings versus Queens 2. How y'all feel about it? If you're in the comment section, let me know how you feel about it. Also, if you're new to my page, new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. I usually do a visual show. This one right here, we just running through the pictures or whatever. I ain't got time to be recording all the visuals. I just want to talk. I just want to get this out. However, Kings versus Queens went down last night, and I want to talk about it. Satisfied with the event overall. I got some things I want to complain about, like always. I got some things that I want to touch on that I felt like was very important, very critical last night. I want to talk about the highs, the lows, and without further ado, let's get into it. Overall, I'm giving this event a 7. I gave this event a 7, and we're going to get into why. The aesthetics was a plus for me. I really liked how it looked. I like the camera angles. I like the camera work. We're going to get into the camera work a little more in one of the battles. Like the visuals. I like the stage. Not too much. They weren't doing too much. Just a small platform that they stepped on. Dim in the background. You had your color in the background. It looked a little, it looked a little foggy, even though it wasn't fog. It wasn't literal fog there, but it looked a little foggy in the back. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Gave it a very intimate feel. I really like that. Let's get into that pre-show. I hate that pre-show. I talked to Nephew. Shout out to Nephew. I really wasn't feeling that pre-show, man. They don't know what they want to do with the pre-show. At this point, get rid of it. Because Super Fight's pre-show was 15 minutes long. This pre-show, 30 minutes long. Why? Why? There's only a 1 battle difference. You had 4 battles on Super Fight. You had 5 battles on Kings versus Queens. Why? Why do you expand the pre-show to 15 more minutes for 1 more battle? And y'all still ain't do nothing that make me entertained by the pre-show. Me and Nephew talked, and I agree with him on a lot of things he said. Make the pre-show enjoyable so people will want to watch the regular show. If you have people on Caffeine who play video games or watch people playing video games, that URL show promo is at the main screen. Let's say they just finished watching someone play Call of Duty. They log off. They about to log off. They go to the main Caffeine screen. They see URLs is about to start streaming. If they click on that pre-show at 8 o'clock and Surfing J Black is just sitting there talking about betting each other, they might not want to watch. However, if they click on the pre-show and you got videos and promos for the battles and battlers, they might stick around. Matter of fact, I got one even better. Check this out, Nephew. That video for Remy Ma and Papoose, if you play that during the pre-show, if that's a part of your pre-show, that gets things ready. You know what I'm saying? I know people might have been clowning them or whatever. If this was a big deal like y'all wanted it to be, don't do it mid-show. I don't need a halftime. I don't need a halftime show because it wasn't them but 3 or 4 minutes. Do it in the pre-show. Let that be halfway through your pre-show or the last thing that happens in your pre-show. Give me some type of entertainment during the pre-show. I don't want to hit on talk. I got Battle Rap Media for that. Sunday, I got shows from the Breakdown Crew. I got Black Compass coming on. I done heard them talk all the way leading up into this event. I got Piper Boy. I got Math Hoffa. Everyone's doing shows that day or leading up to the event. If not that same day, the day before, 2 days before, I'm going to hear enough talking leading up to the event. Give me some type of entertainment during the pre-show. I really hate that pre-show. Do away with it. Let's get into the first battle. First battle was a goodie. You got JC versus First Lady Flames. JC. This man has a chip on his shoulder. And I'm going to use that throughout the show. This man has a chip on his shoulder. And we see what happens when you make JC mad. First Lady Flames, JC, mirror match. A lot of people were saying that JC was going to get washed by this young lady. A lot of people saying she was going to come in there and do that man dirty, do him greasy. That ain't happened. JC came in there. He was talking to this young lady's soul. And First Lady Flames was fighting back. Matter of fact, she had a mirror match bar. But you see the name of the show. It's the recap with no bars. So I ain't giving it away. However, she had a mirror match bar that was fire. Go back and watch that one. I feel like their battle has replay value. And it could sway it a little bit. But honestly, I feel like JC just was too much. JC with a chip on his shoulder is dangerous. But now we're in a position where it's like, okay, JC done battled everybody except for the legends. Give him the legends like y'all supposed to have been doing, and we'll get something going. Sorry, had to make a quick edit. JC done battled everyone except for the legends. He ain't battled the Luxes. He ain't battled the Surfs. He ain't battled A-Verb yet, and we're going to get into A-Verb. The thing about it is, if he does battle those people, make sure he has a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Y'all need to make this man very mad before those matchups. And I promise you, he going to do his thing. First Lady Flames, she was nice. She wasn't what I expected her to be. She started turning up a little bit more, I want to say in the third. I want to say she turned up more in the third, but she was fire all 3 rounds. Her level, JC showed levels. Let's put it like that. And I ain't going to stay on it long. I'm going to get into this next battle. But JC, shout out to you. He got that battle. Clear 30 in my opinion. Fire battle. Nice pin work from First Lady Flames. Even better level of pin work from JC. Let's get into it. Next battle. Low Soul versus Vixen the Assassin. Shout out to Vixen. She is the woman battler of the year. She did her thing. She deserved that. However, you battle somebody like Low Soul, who also has a chip on his shoulder. You see what you get. Low Soul was on one. He was on fire. He was on fire. He had a point in his second round where he was working the cameras, and shout out to Caffeine for that, because y'all camera work done got a lot better. Because I used to get on y'all about not following the battlers, like the Bill Collector Super Duper Scope. You ain't follow him off the screen. Come on now. Loso was working the cameras. I think it was in his second round where it was like the white and black angle he was taking on her, and he ended it off with the J Black Smack White. That was fire. That was fire. When I tell you that was fire, wait until the drop for the rewatch, or if you already got a copy, rewatch that battle. This battle has a very high level of replay value. Shout out to them for that. Loso had the chip on his shoulder. Y'all been doubting Loso. You know, the fans were down Loso. Oh, we see the same Loso every time. What he gonna do against Vixen? She's on fire. She about to murder this young man. He a Christian. He can't talk about much. Imaginary gun balls. Yeah, let's get into it. He about to angle this young lady. And honestly, new battlers, if you hear this for whatever reason, add angles to your arsenal. Stop randomly punching. Add angles to your arsenal. That's why the vets are so dangerous. They don't just punch, they angle. Now, I understand you have to know your opponent to angle on them, but at this point, all y'all done been in the game for a minute. Y'all know each other. Y'all know some stories and some dirt on each other. Start angling. Low Soul was angling. And she kept saying it. Oh, he was just angling. All he was doing was angling, angling, angling. Yeah. If you do the right angle, you work the right angle on your opponent, you're gonna come out victorious. And with that, Loso took the dub. Now, Vixen was no slack. Vixen didn't slack at all. I really liked her performance. I really did. It just wasn't enough. Loso showed levels. Shout out to Loso for that. Very high replay value. And honestly, on the replay, y'all might give Vixen the battle. That's how good she was. She wasn't a letdown at all. She was working now. Loso just was on fire in that moment. Shout out to them for that. I'm gonna move on to the next one. I'm not gonna stay on these too long because I'm not giving away bars. So shout out to them. Battle of the night. Let's get into it. T-Top, Coffee Brown. You know what time it is. T-Top with the laid back, raspy voice, cool, calm, and collective. You know how T-Top gives it up. Coffee Brown, aggressive, punches, bars, performance. You know what I'm saying? She was on one last night. Shout out to Coffee Brown, another battler with a chip on their shoulder. Like I said, this was battle of the night. Coffee might have had the performance of the night. I believe her or Loso, to me, might have had performance of the night. It's between one of the two. I'm leaning towards Coffee. As much as Nephew, I know that's your girl. She ain't one of my favorites, but I give credit where credit is due. Coffee might have had performance of the night. She was on fire. She's right there with Loso. I feel like it's neck and neck, but I might be leaning more towards Coffee. Battle of the night for sure. T-Top, man, very, very good at what he does with the angles, with the punches. He goes into character, drug deal talks. He was going in on how her son, she ain't got custody of her son, or she finally got him back. You a welfare chick. He was trying to angle her to death, bringing some angles into it. Some of them were fake from what she was saying. One thing about this, the caffeine votes gave it to T-Top. I don't usually go off of caffeine votes, but I will incorporate them. Caffeine votes, from what Jay Black said, went in favor of T-Top. At the end of them talking, T-Top said he gave it to Coffee. I don't know if y'all caught that. At the very end of their segment, right when they were walking off, before the camera went to the little whatever thing they went to, the next scene, the transition, T-Top said he was like, I gave it to Coffee. Go back and catch that. If you got it recorded somewhere, I know somebody screen captured it. I thought that was very interesting. But Coffee was fire. If you give that battle to Coffee Brown, I'm not mad. If you give that battle to T-Top, I'm not mad. Now, y'all about to say I'm contradicting myself because I gave the battle to T-Top. I'm not going to lie to you. I just felt like the way he was talking to her was a lot better than what she was doing. Not a lot. Please don't kill me. Not a lot. It was just a little better than what she was doing. However, the way she was performing, if you're watching this, give Coffee Brown a round of applause. Her performance, I don't think I've seen Coffee perform like this. She always has some nice performances. She can perform. She's not just bar heavy. She can perform. She moves around the stage. However, last night, I think that was her best performance. Coffee, continue to have a chip on your shoulder. The battle rap community, we're iffy. 1 minute we like you, 1 minute we hate you. The last few months, the battle rap community been going in on you. And you see how you turned out. You, Loso, JC, and any battler, if any battler is listening to this, find out how to get a chip on your shoulder if you want your best performance. Get a chip on your shoulder. I don't know how you're going to get it. I don't know. Get one, you'll produce your best performance. I promise you. Shout out to Coffee. Shout out to T Top. Battle of the night. Coffee might have had performance of the night. I gave it to T Top though. However, on the rewatch, that can go either way. Let me get into this. A Verb, Miss Hustle. Verb, you let me down. Come on, Verb. Vegan Verb, A Verb, whatever. You let me down, man. If anyone knows how to get in contact with the old A Verb, the real Captain Marketable, the one who was in the Midwest movement, please call him, text him, email him, send him a letter, SOS. Get the old A Verb back out there. This new A Verb, you are one of my favorites. Bro, it hurts me to see you on stage getting walked on by Miss Hustle and whoever your opponent is. Because honestly, at this point, I see a lot of people just walking all over you. Now, I'm going to give you credit where credit is due. Your showtime, your second round, it was pretty straight. But you rap so fast, no breaks, no pauses, no emphasis is on the punch. Your rounds seem like they're a minute and a half. I know you had 3-minute rounds. I know you did. But you rap so fast, it's like it just goes straight through. And it's like, what in the world? What is he talking about? Dang, he done already? Miss Hustle. She punching, she aggressive, she walking all around you, she touching you, she pushing you, she doing whatever she want to do. Now, she wasn't touching you a lot, but by the time we got to that third round, she started doing some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give anything away. Like I said, it's a no bars recap. However, Miss Hustle was on it. I appreciated the performance I got from Miss Hustle. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not a fan of lopsided battles. I'm watching this stuff to be entertained. At this point, this is entertainment. It ain't real beef. It ain't street beef. It ain't fighting. It ain't shooting. It's just rap entertainment. So with a rap battle, I want to see a complete battle where two parties are going back and forth. I don't like lopsided battles like that. I'm just being real. JC and Flames was not lopsided. Even though JC won convincingly, Flames fought. Flames was in there doing her thing. Loso and Vixen, that was a fight. That was a battle. T-Top Coffee, fight. Battle. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one-sided. Then we get the A-Verb Miss Hustle. And I'm going to be real with y'all. They could have left this battle off the card. You leave this battle off the card, it goes from a 5 battle card to a 4 battle card, just like the super fight was, and I might give it a higher rating. At this point, I only have one thing to complain about if you take this battle off the card. 2 things, because I'm always going to complain about the pre-show until they get it right. A-Verb Miss Hustle could have been left off the card. Miss Hustle, clear 30, body bag. Put his body bag in the body bag. Let me get on The Rock versus Official. I got one thing to complain about in this battle. If they would have took A-Verb and Hustle off the card, I would have only been able to complain about the pre-show and the one thing in this battle. So let's get to it. Tay-Rock, fire. First 2 rounds, fire. He was on it. Gun bars, AK-47s, 40 cals, Glocks, Rugers, everything you can think of. He got it. He got the whole arsenal. Official, gun bar queen, AK-47s, 40 cals, Glocks, Rugers, whole arsenal. They cracking each other's heads. They all kind of B words. They disrespecting each other's mamas, whatever. Drilling each other. I like that. I that's what I expected from these 2 people until we get to Tay-Rock's third. Tay-Rock talked about not having a round with gun bars in it or having a round with no gun bars. Cool. I'm thinking you about to come with this Lux daylight type third round that I've been waiting on you to come back with since the daylight battle, but you won't do it. You go into a poem. Now, I'm going to excuse you for that because I know originally this event was planned for Valentine's Day. I know originally this event was for Valentine's Day, and I guess you were supposed to make it like romantic. You know, the poetry. It was not romantic. Let me not say that because the poem wasn't romantic, but to bring out a poem the day before Valentine's Day was going to give it the whole Valentine's feel. Anyway, you get into your poem. You talking about how she looked. You got a Humpty Dumpty body shape, such and such body having, tennis racket body having, melted ice cream body having. And I'm like, dude, I didn't want to hear that for the whole round. And he kept saying, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And he just kept going. And I was like, no, why? Official won that battle off of that alone. And I'm not trying to discredit Official by saying she couldn't win the battle just with her rounds, because her rounds were fire. Official was on one. Y'all talked about her breathing versus Arsenal. Guess what? Minimal breathing issues. And I'm gonna back my sister up real quick. Official, get your breathing together. And I want y'all to understand why it's hard sometimes to catch your breath and why these people take awkward water breaks in these battles. It ain't no crowd anymore. You're in an intimate setting. Your blood is flowing. I keep telling y'all that. You're rapping loud. You're yelling. You're running through a 3 to 4 minute round. You're moving around, performing. Not to mention, if you're someone like Official or T Top, you got a little weight on you. Not downing them, not clowning them, because I'm a little thicker myself. Guess what? When you get into stuff like that, you start breathing hard. You start losing your breath. So it's understandable why a person in her position might lose their breath. Now, you still need to work on your breath control because now you know, okay, this the element that we're battling in. I don't have a crowd reaction to rely on. You'll get a little crowd reaction out of the 10, 15 people in the room, but that's only going to last for 5 seconds. On a big stage, a crowd reaction can last 20, 30 seconds. If you get the right one, you know what I'm saying? In a live event, I done seen it happen. But you might get a minute crowd reaction, you mess around. You know what I'm saying? But let me not exaggerate too much. Just being real with the 20 people in the room, they're only going to react for a few seconds. That big stage is a crutch for crowd reaction because you can rely on that to catch your breath, to get a water. I forgot what battle it was last night. One of the battlers took like an awkward water break. I don't want to get the person wrong, so I'm not going to call her name. But on the rewatch, I'm going to get it and I'm going to tell y'all about it. Tay Rock, man, you could have left that third round out. If you come with a real third round, you could have did one with no gun bars. Just really rap against your opponent. Make it entertaining. Made me stay up that late for that. Now we're finna get to the complaining. Listen, I want to shout out to Official. I want to shout out to Tay Rock. Nice battle until the third round. Kings versus Queens, I told y'all I gave it a 7. Part of the issue was the timing. I told y'all about the pre-show, told y'all about Averb, told y'all about Tay Rock's third. The thing I didn't like again was the timing. I stay on the East Coast. The event was slated to start at 8 o'clock. It didn't end until 11:30. Now, you take the Averb battle out. That saves a little time. You know what I'm saying? But even if you don't want to do that because you got 5 battles, move the time back. Just move the time back some. I understand y'all are on the West Coast and y'all are trying to do something to please both coasts because you don't want it to start too late because we probably ain't going to stay up like that. Some of us going to fall asleep. I know I got stuff to do in the morning. So if I got things to do, I need this event to run smooth, which it did run smooth. Y'all transitioned through the battles smoothly, but y'all ending it too late. And I know y'all worried about starting too early for the West Coast people. So in that case, what you do is West Coast time, y'all started at 5. How about start at 3? Move it up 2 hours. Move it 2 hours. That's all you had to do. If you move it 2 hours, okay, we're going to go to East Coast time. Instead of starting at 8, you'll start at 7. Instead of ending at 11:30, you're in at 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Move that thing 2 hours. I'm sorry, and I said 8, you'll start at 7. I'm tripped out there. Instead of 8, you'll start at 6. You're in at 9:30, 3.5 hours. So guess what? West Coast time, instead of starting at 5, you start at 3. That ain't too early for them. And the end time won't be too late for us. If y'all hearing this, take that into consideration. I understand with these caffeine events, a lot of them are done on the West Coast, especially now. Take that into consideration. That's not too early for them. That's not too late for us. Some of us got work in the morning. Think about that. It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. Oh. Before I go, it was All-Star weekend. You had Super Fight, Kings versus Queens. Super Fight was the better event. Kings versus Queens only had one extra battle. If you take the Averb versus Miss Hustle off of that, that gives it 4 battles. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is better. But in this case, take one battle off. Super Fight was better. Kings versus Queens, I gave it a 7. Overall, All-Star weekend, I am satisfied. I just hate the timing. I just hate the Averb and Miss Hustle battle. Other than that, URL, caffeine, y'all did y'all things this weekend. I'm finna cut this thing off. I'm gonna end it like I end it every time, even on my live shows. You see the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Until we meet again, be blessed. I love y'all. I'm out of here.